And you're watching the stream of the Caribbean Women's Qualifier, the CONCACAF Caribbean Women's Qualifier match number 32 between St. Lucia and Antigua Barbuda here at the Antigua Recreation Grounds. Antigua Barbuda scoring in the second minute header from defender Brittany Edwards, coming forward and heading the ball into the back of the net from a corner. Antigua Barbuda 1, St. Lucia 0 early on in this all-important qualifying match. Give you the lineup: St. Lucia, Namali Flood, Shanette Joseph, Emma Clovis, Shanisha Prevost, Anna Vitalis, Eliasa Marquis, that's the captain, Adriana Modlashki, Laila Leonel, Sylvie Willie, Marva Herman, and Lalana Lashley. That's the lineup for the St. Lucia team. Antigua Barbuda today going with what appears to be an unchanged team: Nikisha Samuel, Jahira James, Marley Jarvis, Devika Tittle, Brittany Edwards, Brianna Humphreys, Trishan Grant, Portia Davis, who's the captain, Damali Simon Ponte, Jadian Brown, and Kai Jacobs. Antigua Barbuda 1, St. Lucia 0. We're in the early stage, we're in the 4th minute of play. This is St. Lucia having a shot at goal, looking for the equalizer early on. The spectators who have come out, there are a few more spectators than were here during the week for the weekday matches, and they will be happy and they are vocal as Antigua Barbuda taking an early lead. This is Antigua Barbuda in defense with Devita Tittle trying to bring it under control and start the Antigua Barbuda attack. She gives it away, but they win it back. Antigua Barbuda with it in defense. Portia Davis with a nice little turn. She tries to play through for Trishan Grant, who's running on to the end of this one, but again we see the limitation of the Antigua Barbuda striker in Trishan Grant, not trusting her left foot and not even trying to swing that one with her left foot, and the ball is cleared away by St. Lucia for Antigua Barbuda throw-in. Oliver Joseph is beside me. Good evening.
Good evening, Denmore, and again I totally agree with you. But on that occasion, what I think she should have done was to stop the ball and let the defender run past and then put it back on her right foot and get a crossing or shot at goal.
So we're in the 6th minute of play as Antigua Barbuda still in the attacking third of St. Lucia. St. Lucia would need to have victory here this evening against Antigua Barbuda if they're going to qualify from this group. And Antigua Barbuda has made their job that much harder now because they're going to need to score 2 goals if they're going to get past the Benna girls. Here is Antigua Barbuda. It's been played down that right hand side. Good ball by Antigua Barbuda. The cross coming in to the player. She plays it across, but the control or just that critical moment when the Antigua Barbuda player was looking to pull the trigger, the defender just stuck a foot in. Antigua Barbuda early on putting pressure on St. Lucia.
Yes, then one. That was number 10, Jadine Brown there. Not getting the correct control to get a shot in. But yes, early pressure from Antigua and Barbuda. I'm quite surprised, knowing the coaches over the years, with them only needing a draw. They tend to be a bit defensive, but I guess they have been listening to their spectators and to the critics about playing more attacking, and it has paid off early for them in this game. So a corner kick for Antigua and Barbuda. That's looked like number 10.
Corner kick for Antigua and Barbuda. Corner is put in again. They had to go up. Brittany Edwards was hoping to get on the end of that one. A shot is coming in from distance. Corner kick given by the referee Odette Hamilton.
Yes, that's
Odette Hamilton today is assisted by Tonya Dean and Thelma Beltran, and of course Caritza Yisel Guerra Flores of Honduras is the 4th official, and the referee assessor is listed as Jose Esteban Martinez Hernandez of the Dominican Republic. The corner kick this time is a poor one for Antigua and Barbuda. St. Lucia clears, but then it's played back in by Jahira James. The goalkeeper just watches it as it bounces over the top of her head and behind for a goal kick to the St. Lucia team. Antigua Barbuda 1, St. Lucia 0. Goal coming in the 2nd minute by Brittany Edwards, a headed goal.
Yes, and that was Brianna Humphreys there with trying to a one-time shot back at goal, but it got deflected and went for a corner kick for Antigua and Barbuda. Now we see a goal kick from St. Lucia. St. Lucia has the ball, but she plays it to an Antiguan player.
So this is St. Lucia with it, trying to start their attack, try to build up an attack. Antigua and Barbuda in defense, now clears it away, finds the player in the center of midfield in the number 11 jersey, is it? No, we'll wait and see that number. The number 10 jersey there is who's Jadian Brown. Antigua Barbuda on that right hand side, and then the player is obstructed. Is that Kai Jacobs?
Yes, that's Kai Jacob, known for her dribbling skills. Did get the ball past the defender, but didn't get past the defender herself. Defender just blocking her path, and so the referee blew a foul for Antigua and Barbuda.
So it looks as if it's going to be Marley Jarvis who is going to take control of that one. She's going to be taking responsibility for that free kick on the far side. I think she has a left foot, Marley Jarvis. She's just been told by the referee where to place the ball. She's just placing it now. She has 6 attackers to aim for in the penalty area, as the referee's just making sure that the wall is back. They required 9.15 meters. Marley Jarvis stands and waits. What will happen with this one? She hits it straight into the wall. Poor free kick. That's not what she would have wanted to do. She would have wanted to give those players who had gone forward an opportunity. Antigua and Barbuda through Jahira James was trying to go forward. The ball is behind for goal kick to St. Lucia. St. Lucia 0, Antigua Barbuda 1 in this encounter. So St. Lucia is in defense, looking to go forward. Not a good pass by the St. Lucian defender. Was just trying to find her teammate on that far side. The ball going into touch, so it's an opportunity for Antigua and Barbuda to again go on the attack. Not the biggest of crowds in, but those that are here are very vocal, and they're vocal and partisan in their supporting the Benner girls, wanting them to go forward. And a shot coming in from a distance, probably not the type of contact that the player there would have wanted.
That was Brianna Humphreys, number 6. And here, then more, if we notice that, whereas in the first 2 games for Antigua, they were a bit flustered in the first 10 minutes. They are seems to be settled even quicker this afternoon. And St. Lucia, who usually looked settled early, looked flustered this afternoon.
Antigua and Barbuda would be buoyed by that early goal. Don't think they were expecting it. Maybe if they hadn't scored early, as Antigua did, they might have shown the sort of nervousness that we would have seen. But that early goal would have settled the girls pretty early, taking off most of the pressure that they would have had on them, and they would certainly be in a more relaxed state. And also, the direction that they're kicking first for Antigua and Barbuda, we call it here in Antigua and Barbuda going down the hill at the ARG, where there's a slope to the field on that side, and normally teams that go in that direction attack and look to attack a lot. St. Lucia, goalkeeper coming and anticipating well, collecting the ball. So St. Lucia 0, Antigua Barbuda 1, early stages, as St. Lucia has it, trying to start their attack. The player on the right side, the ball is adjudged by referee to have come out off of the St. Lucia team, and then some assistance quickly from her assistant referee, and the throw-in went to Antigua and Barbuda. Here is Trishan Grant trying to go forward for Antigua and Barbuda. The Antigua and Barbuda number 10 player in brown was just trying to dribble her way forward. The ball is still with the Antigua and Barbuda team on their left-hand side. St. Lucia trying to clear, not getting very far. Throw in for James. He throws it down the line. Header inside by Trishan Grant. Finds an Antigua and Barbuda player in an attacking
Simon Ponte.
position. That Simon Ponte was trying to use a little bit of strength on that occasion to try and muscle off the St. Lucia player. So it remains Antigua Barbuda 1, St. Lucia 0. So throw in for Antigua and Barbuda. Early stages yet of this encounter. We've just had 13 minutes or so gone on the clock. Antigua Barbuda with that early goal, the 2nd minute of play, almost with their first attacking move, getting the corner kick, and Brittany Edwards getting her head onto that one and throwing and really scoring for Antigua and Barbuda. Kai Jacobs, or is that
No, that's
Brittany Humphreys?
Yes, that's Brittany Humphreys, number 6.
Humphreys just fouling the St. Lucian player. So it's going to be a St. Lucia free kick. St. Lucia in blue, Antigua Barbuda in gold and black. St. Lucia in blue with yellow on their sleeve as they have the colors of their flag as their main uniform. The Benna girls wearing gold, which is a very strong part of the Antigua and Barbuda flag. The gold, it's golden sun, they say, as we see it in the flag. So Antigua Barbuda trying to get out of Group D. This is match number 32 in this CONCACAF Women's Qualifier, being played all across the Caribbean. And so this is the Antigua and Barbuda leg, as here is the St. Lucia team looking to go forward, and a bit of muscle there by Portia Davis. Portia Davis is almost like the enforcer in the Antigua and Barbuda midfield. She has a bit of size on her now, and she looks to muscle and manhandle people, we would say, around.
Yes, definitely. She's also the captain.
Tries to unsettle a lot of the opponents. But it's free kick for St. Lucia. Taken. The ball is dangerous, but it should be handled by the Antigua and Barbuda goalkeeper. And once they come to Nikisha Samuel, she normally is very good with her hands. This is played forward for Antigua and Barbuda. They play their turn in and then looking to send it forward, but cleared away by St. Lucia. So Antigua will have a throw in on their far side.
Yes, and as I look out in front of us, then more I see a St. Lucian player warming up. Seems like St. Lucia is going to make an earlier change.
So St. Lucia, already the coach does not like what he's seen from somebody, so he's asked the player to warm up early. Antigua and Barbuda and St. Lucia, there was just seemingly a clash of heads, maybe a clash of body, as the St. Lucia players rolling around on the ground. The referee just assessing, and now she calls for the physiotherapist for the St. Lucia team. He'll probably get there sometime today. These physios, when they run onto the field, they don't look very urgent at all. They jog on and they pretty much take quite a bit of time to get to the players, and then when they get there, they take another few minutes to do the assessment. We see the physio just doing that exercise that they use, especially when somebody has a pain in the groin area. So probably just some wind knocked out of the St. Lucian player. She's on the ground. We'll tell you who she is. Looks to be the number 8 for St. Lucia, who is Eliasa, the captain, Marquis. So they wouldn't want her to be injured at this time. They would want her to be able to continue on. Marquis, the St. Lucian captain. St. Lucia trying to equalize because they're behind against Antigua Barbuda, and they need victory if they're going to qualify from this group. Antigua Barbuda, we think with the better goal average and scoring a number of goals, Antigua Barbuda team would just have to avoid defeat for them to progress forward. And these groups are cruel. Just one team qualifying from the group. So you don't win your group, you go home.
Yes, just checking to my notes. Antigua and Barbuda has a +4 goal difference to St. Lucia +2. So like you said, a draw will take Antigua and Barbuda through. So St. Lucia must win
Here is Kai Jacobs coming forward. Simon Ponte going after it. Just checking to see who she has in support. Plays it in across into space. Trishan Grant trying to get into the action as well. Headed away back by Marley Jarvis for Antigua and Barbuda. Good skill by Kai Jacobs. Flicking the ball up into the air. Looking for it to come down for her. St. Lucia has it now. Takes it out of defense. But they run into the Antigua and Barbuda captain in Portia Davis. It's now on the left side and Grant can't control again. Just the deficiency with her left foot. Doesn't touch much with that left foot when it's coming to that left foot. Trishan Grant is found wanting.
Yes, and if she's going to want to be a complete player, she's going to have to do some work on that left foot.
Because the coach is minded to play her left-sided. So she's going to have to be mindful of that and do some work on using that left foot. We know that she has the speed and she can kick it well with the right foot, but she's, because of circumstances, finding herself on the left. St. Lucia trying to build down this left-hand side. Brittany Jacobs is there, and the St. Lucia player falls as Jacobs was just applying a little bit of pressure on her, barging into the back of the player.
There was no need for her to do that at all, Denmore. The player was facing the old double-decker stand.
Yes.
There was no chance of her getting any attack onto goal. All she has to do is hold her ground and let her keep going away further from her goal. Now here's a perfect opportunity for St. Lucia to equalize.
So they have an opportunity to put the ball into the penalty area, as this one is played in and comes right across the Antigua and Barbuda penalty area. Nervousness on that occasion as the ball fell. It went wide of the left and upright of the Antigua and Barbuda goalkeeper, but that was nervous moments for the Antigua and Barbuda team.
Yes, I thought the goalkeeper actually had to take one step out and catch that ball. But instead she stood on her line, and the defenders, along with the attackers from St. Lucia, also stood their ground. And so luckily for Antigua, the ball fell and went over the goal line.
So Antigua Barbuda took the goal kick, and St. Lucia has it back in the Antigua and Barbuda penalty area, but should be cleared and is now by Devita Tittle, not controlled by the St. Lucian midfield. So opportunity for Antigua and Barbuda. Kai Jacobs is there, wins the Antigua and Barbuda team a throw-in. As if you hear sounds in the background, that's probably the mosquitoes trying to attack us as we watch, as it's Antigua and Barbuda with a throw-in on that far side. The Antigua and Barbuda player just adjusting her bootstraps as Tittle waits, takes the throw-in now, has it on that right side for Antigua and Barbuda is Trishan Grant, and again we see switching taking place for Antigua and Barbuda. Today we see the bulk of the coaching being done. Is that by Lorraine Charles?
Yes, that's the assistant
Antigua and
coach.
Barbuda assistant.
Yes, Lorraine Charles, who is giving instructions. The head coach, he started, but now he's having a seat, and the assistant coach in Charles is now up. I haven't seen the technical director.
Do we see the technical director today?
No, I'm not seeing. He's not on the bench. He's not listed on the sheet either. So I see a new goalkeeper coach in George Warner.
So it means that somebody probably told him what we were saying the other evening. So good evening to him. He's probably listening to us somewhere up in the stands. Probably the best place he should be taking his notes.
Yes,
rather than being on the bench.
I totally agree. As the technical director, he should be in the stands taking notes, and then after the game, he sits with the coaching staff and discuss the good and the bad.
So Antigua and Barbuda has it now in defense. Goal scorer Edwards comes in with a strong challenge, and the ball is loose, heading towards the penalty area of the St. Lucia team. Antigua and Barbuda defender coming across and just cutting it out in Jahaira James. So it's going to be throw in for St. Lucia on the right hand side. The dreadlocked St. Lucian coach standing up, just trying to urge his girls on. Ball is played forward by Antigua and Barbuda, and now it's with Simon Ponte. The number 9 gives it out to the right side, finds Trishan Grant, and Grant is trying to shot the goalkeeper, falling and almost making a mess of it, but she was able to recover as the ball didn't bounce too high after it rebounded from her body and went up into the air. But Grant, trying a shot from distance, thought that she could have taken probably one more step.
Yes, and if you notice there how comfortable she was at that time, because it was on her favorite foot, her right foot, so she controlled, went past the defender, and then took a shot at goal.
So, Antigua Barbuda with it, and just the referee intervening as there was just a little bit of pushing from the Antigua and Barbuda player on the St. Lucia defender. St. Lucia has it and trying to start a counter attack quickly. Marley Jav is showing good confidence in just taking that one down out of the air. It was high up in the air and hanging, and with one little touch she was able to bring it under control, but then just had to put it into touch as she was under pressure from the St. Lucia oncoming attacking player. St. Lucia 0, Antigua Barbuda 1. We're in the 24th minute of the first half of this encounter. A couple hundred maybe spectators in the Antigua Recreation grounds. Female football not necessarily as well supported as the male version of the sport. Here is St. Lucia with that throw in. Now they're with it, trying to go forward. Offside given by the referee assistant Tonya Dean, as that retreating player for St. Lucia is adjudged to have interfered with play, touching the ball, as our security system is also very good tonight, as we see the free kick taken by Antigua and Barbuda. They're coming forward, but not a very good pass by the Antigua and Barbuda midfield player, and the ball goes behind for a St. Lucia goal kick. St. Lucia 0, Antigua Barbuda 1, as we continue to go through this match. And the longer the match continues, the longer the game continues, the better it is for the Antigua and Barbuda team, as it's St. Lucia who would be under more pressure and would be the ones having to take more risk. Joseph?
Yes, definitely. Antigua would be happy with, as you said, Antigua would be the happier team the longer the game goes and St. Lucia hasn't scored. And if Antigua could get another goal, they will be even happier. And then St. Lucia might become undone, and because they now would have to attack even more, it will give Antigua more chances to get more goals.
Certainly, as the ball is with Antigua Barbuda in midfield, they're looking to go forward. They've lost a little bit of the momentum, the early speed, the early momentum. The Antigua and Barbuda team, St. Lucia, they have settled a lot more and have begun to come into the game against the Antigua and Barbuda team. And Antigua Barbuda has to be mindful not to be too defensive and invite too much pressure from the St. Lucians, because that was what will cause them to have opportunities to score. St. Lucia trying to go forward. This is played up in the air, should be headed away. It is by Brittany Edwards, but not too far. The St. Lucian attacking players trying to go forward. This is Kai Jacobs with it for Antigua and Barbuda. Can start the counter attack. She gives it to her Antiguan counterpart, who is close by. That's Brown. Gets a 1-2 pass. This is good football. She plays it down in that left channel, looking for the Antigua and Barbuda player, who goes around but runs it into touch. You would think that the assistant referee is speaking to the referee and makes the correct call. I thought that he had gone out for a goal kick.
Yes. It was good skill by Simon Ponte, but that extra touch caused the ball to go over the goal line, and so a goal kick for St. Lucia.
And again, the lack of use of the left foot, because if she had a left foot to just pull that one back under her control, but she tried to turn it around with her right foot, and it sort of just took it away from her, but it was good play, I thought, on the part of the Antiguans.
Yes, it was. So I hope the coaching staff of Antigua is taking notes that there need to be some drills where the players would learn to use their left foot more and become more competent in using it in future games.
Because if they were to win today, they're going to move on in this competition. So the Antigua and Barbuda coaches would want to be mindful of that. This is the Antigua and Barbuda goalkeeper, Samuel, coming off of her line and smothering the ball as it was a long through pass from St. Lucia. The St. Lucian player, looks to be their captain, was trying to rush onto that one, onto the end of that one. Couldn't get there in the end as the goalkeeper got there ahead of her. So Antigua and Barbuda still with it. This is Grant trying to put the goalkeeper under pressure, but good work by the defender, just holding her ground and holding up Grant as she was looking to run onto the end of that one. A better kick this time from the St. Lucian goalkeeper. The ball is in the air, the number 10. She's trying to bring it under control. It's won by Antigua and Barbuda in defense, but St. Lucia still has it as the player there just ran into Marley Jarvis, and Marley Jarvis thinking about it, and at that last moment putting the ball into touch for a St. Lucian throw-in. We're in minute number 29. Antigua Barbuda 1, St. Lucian 0. So the throw-in is about to be taken by St. Lucia. She's just waiting, the dreadlocked player, for all her teammates to be in place. Takes the throw-in now. Good turn and cross by St. Lucia, but Antigua goalkeeper coming again and claiming is the Antiguan goalkeeper in Samuel. She launches it long downfield looking for Simon Ponte. She allows it to drop, and then we'll have to do some work. She was just guilty of just upending the St. Lucia defender somewhat. A late flag coming from assistant referee number 2 in Thelma Beltran, and it's going to be a free kick to the St. Lucia team. St. Lucia more settled since that early goal, and they're trying every attack. They're really just trying to pick through the Antigua and Barbuda defense, just trying to create a breach. But they will have to be patient if they're going to do so, because you tend to think that the Antigua and Barbuda defenders would be very alert at the plan for the St. Lucians. So St. Lucia, before this, they would have defeated Curacao and St. Vincent. Had to work hard against St. Vincent for that victory. I think they came out, what, 2-1 victors?
Yes, both games they won 2-1.
So had to work in both matches, but they do know what it is like to concede a goal and still win. So that would be good news for them, is that this is not necessarily yet a panic situation, that they would be in utter despair, not knowing how to get goals, because in both games they've played before, they've been able to outscore the opposition. So we watch as here is this play from St. Lucia. The player trying to go forward. Edwards clears as it's with Antigua Barbuda in midfield. Portia Davis giving it away to the St. Lucia team. St. Lucia looking a lot better now, but the attempt of a forward pass is cleared away by Antigua and Barbuda, and that's Humphreys that gets it further clear. Trishan Grant, who is now on the right hand side, is putting the St. Lucian player on the pressure, wins a throw-in for Antigua and Barbuda. So Antigua and Barbuda will have a throw-in on that far side.
I think Antigua needs to get their midfielders settled. They're all over the place. There's not one who's really staying in the middle, and so when the ball breaks, there's always a St. Lucian who gets it first, because the central midfielders for Antigua are all over the place. I think the coach needs to get that instruction in, that the holding midfield especially need to stay home.
This is the Antigua and Barbuda team down that right hand side. The players being forced backwards by a string of St. Lucian defenders, but she maintains control. This is Kai Jacobs trying to unleash the Antigua Barbuda player down that right side. And she gets around. She's upended. The fans wanted the penalty kick on that occasion, but the player is only going to get a throw in for Antigua and Barbuda. Nervous moments that for the St. Lucians could have gone anyway. Yes, but maybe she got some of the ball.
Good work there by Simon Ponte again. Took it, who held it up, got around the defender, but just about as she was about to pass, the St. Lucian defender got her foot in and got the ball away from her.
Here is Antigua and Barbuda again coming out of defense. The free kick is given, so Antigua and Barbuda will have a free kick in a dangerous position, just about 30 yards or so from goal.
Yes, and last game that's about that same position where Marley Jarvis scored a beautiful header. And we're seeing again just Brianna Humphreys. She was one who took the free kick the last time, and Marley Jarvis is already forward. So probably they're looking for a repeat of what happened on Friday.
So opportunity for Antigua and Barbuda to get the ball inside the penalty area. We'll see how the Antigua and Barbuda player, what she does with it, as just waiting for referee to be ready. Hamilton, this one is played forward, but this time away from the Antigua and Barbuda forward players. So no opportunity for Marley Jarvis and others to get their head onto that one. Jarvis is quickly back into her defensive spot, and I'm surprised, James, with the kind of the understanding that Marley Jarvis is showing, that you're telling me that she's a striker.
Yes, she is.
Because as soon as she was finished with that attacking move, quickly she sprinted right back into her central defending role.
Yes, she is a striker. She's in college, I was told. Didn't get the name of the college that she's in, but she's a striker there. But I guess in the absence of Kevin Stewart, they needed someone to play in that position, and I guess she put her hand up. And I must say, the past two games and so far in this game, she has been doing an excellent job. And she has also calmed the nerves of the other defenders playing there with her.
So Antigua and Barbuda giving the ball back to St. Lucia as the play continues. St. Lucia with a throw in on the right hand side, just about on the halfway line. Just a little step in there from Grant, who's again
been switched back
to the left.
And Kai is back on to the right.
So the head coach Nabu Samuel is up now, screaming at his players as they look to defend. They have the 1-0 lead. Referee Adam just beckoning to the St. Lucian player to play the ball. Headed away by, looks to be Tittle. Antigua Barbuda trying to come out of defense. The ball is played forward, and the goalkeeper for Antigua and Barbuda should come and collect, and does, as Antigua Barbuda continues to lead as we get further into this half. Just about 9 minutes or so left in the half. We've into the 37th minute of play. Here is Antigua and Barbuda trying to go forward again. The ball is played across and over the crossbar by the Antiguan forward player Simon Ponte, again giving a good effort. Looking, she's almost as if she's operating as the lone striker, but she's really giving a good effort up front for Antigua and Barbuda.
Yes, I guess she realized that she has more speed than the St. Lucian defense, and along with her skill, she's been putting it to good use so far.
She just probably needs a good chance, one that probably center of goal, where she can use her pace to get by the defense and then look to slot it in. Brittany Edwards with it for Antigua and Barbuda, finds Kai Jacobs. Jacobs was looking to give it on the inside, but Portia Davis was anticipating a forward pass. St. Lucia can counter-attack. Jahira James has pressure. She puts the ball over the touchline for St. Lucia. Throw in, St. Lucia.
And again, then
nil Antigua one.
And again, then we see the limitations of the Antiguan players and that left foot. can't tire stressing the importance of the coaching staff working on these young ladies' left foot. And if you notice on the left side, we have two players who favors their right foot. You have the defender in Jahira James and the midfielder in Chishan Grant.
Yes, both players look different when you see them play on the right side. But this is Simon Ponte taking control and then trying to find Kai Jacobs with what was a good ball, but Jacobs just not anticipating. The St. Lucian player trying to let it run into touch, but Jacobs does well. Tick picks the ball off of her, puts it across. The goalkeeper comes and grabs it on the second attempt. But again, good work from Kai Jacobs. Antigua Barbuda still with it. This is Humphreys trying a shot from distance, not getting a hold of it as she might have wanted, and the ball rolling right through to Flood, the St. Lucian goalkeeper.
And here we see the goalkeeper has gone down. The referee has stopped the game.
Seemingly injured herself.
And has summoned the
summoning the physio.
Yes,
there's another St. Lucian player that is sitting down as well. The physio runs past her as he's heading towards the goalkeeper. Gives us an opportunity to just recap what has happened so far. Antigua Barbuda with an unchanged team taking an early goal in the second minute. The second minute header from Brittany Edwards giving Antigua a 1-0 lead. Both teams have cancelled out themselves since, and the scoreline remains the same as it was from the second minute. So the players will use the opportunity to refresh themselves and also to just take some instructions from the coaches as the St. Lucian goalkeeper is receiving some treatment. It was just an innocuous because there wasn't anyone on her. She picked the ball up and then she just went down, indicating that something is wrong with her leg. We don't see any real haste from the St. Lucian bench. We don't see anyone warming up, so they probably know what is going on and know that she's going to be fine in a short while.
I think she landed awkwardly from the cross from Kai Jacobs, and in trying to clutch the ball from the air, she had fumbled it before and she had landed a bit awkwardly, and so probably that has caused whatever injury she has at this moment. And again, looking out, I see the Nabu Samuel giving some instruction. Is that
what would he be saying to the player at this time? What instructions would he be giving?
He's speaking to one of the central midfielders, and he's probably telling them what I've suggested before, that they need to stick around, to stay in the middle of the park and play together and not being all over the place, because sometimes you look, the number 10 who in brown, she's on the right, she's on the left, and the other midfielder in Brianna Humphreys, and then so it leaves Portia Davis alone in the middle, and then you realize that there are 3 or 4, and the St. Lucian midfielders, they are staying home, so when the ball breaks, they get it and they're able to attack the Antiguan defenders, and on that occasion, on those occasions, they have outnumbered the Antiguans, and so he's probably telling her to let the others know we have to stay tight, and also that remember that we have a 1-0 lead.
So the goalkeeper is back on her feet. Just a bit of pushing in the center by Brianna Humphreys. So free kick to St. Lucia. Now is that Brown? It looks as if it was Brown who was doing the pushing. Humphreys is the dreadlocked player, or the player who has
I think he has braids. I don't think
she looks like a dreadlocks from this distance. We also suspect that the coach for St. Lucia is a dreadlock. Here is this delivery. The ball is delivered, going right over the top of the St. Lucian, the Antiguan backline. The Antiguan Barbuda goalkeeper coming in, Samuel, and collecting. Bounces the ball before she looks to release it back into play. She does so now, out onto that right-hand side, looking for Jacobs. Jacobs beaten by the St. Lucian defender, but then St. Lucia can't keep possession. They give it away easily. The St. Lucians, they're going to have to tighten up on that if they're going to come back into this match. They keep looking for that one forward pass, that one killer pass, as they look to go forward. Free kick given by St. Lucia.
No, I think the ball went over the touchline for throwing for St. Lucia. The pass back from the Antiguan player.
So throwing
went outside for throwing, yes.
So the throwing is taken now by St. Lucia. And again, Kai Jacobs is there. Free kick given. Antiguan defender holding on to the St. Lucia player. So again, St. Lucia gets a free kick, an opportunity to get the ball forward. It's just inside the Antigua Barbuda half, a little less than halfway in the Antigua Barbuda half. It's on the St. Lucia left. So they're going to look to whip this one into the penalty area and look to put Antiguan goalkeeper Samuel under pressure. This ball is chipped up in the air, headed out, down by the Antigua Barbuda defense. And cleared up now by Marley Jarvis, as it looks to be Grant who is being muscled off the ball, but works hard and works well. Should be a free kick to Antigua Barbuda, as just a bit of handling from the St. Lucian player in Sylvie Willie. Free kick to Antigua Barbuda inside their own half on the left hand side. Jahira James, who has played well in the warm-up matches and in this tournament for Antigua Barbuda, looks solid as a defender. This ball is carried into touch by the St. Lucian player in the number 8, Marquis, Eliaza Marquis, the captain. She looks a strong player, the Marquis for St. Lucia. Looks one of those strongly built, very sturdy midfield player. Here is Antigua Barbuda trying to go forward with Grant, and Grant flicks it back onto the body of a St. Lucian player, half cleared, and then Marquis gets it with a nice little step over. Here is she blocked by the Antigua Barbuda defender. Should be an Antigua Barbuda throw, and is given by Odette Hamilton, slimly built Jamaican referee. As Antigua Barbuda has possession. Just spoke about Jahira James, and she had one of those moments where she didn't really play well, gave the ball away, but is won back by Antigua Barbuda, and again Trishan Grant's control lets her down. The fourth official comes forward and tells us that they're going to be 2 minutes added in the first half. And we know, Joseph, when it comes to the second half, what we're going to see, it's Hamilton. I won't say yet. I might jinx her. But foul throw given. And I thought that there were quite a number of foul throws taken in both games, but the referees have been very liberal. But on that occasion, Hamilton calling the foul throw. Let's see if James can take a better throw. She too has looked foul on some occasions. She's thrown it back to Marley Jarvis. Jarvis gives it to Humphreys. Humphreys turns into trouble and falls. Nothing given by the referee. She has to get up quickly. Marley Jarvis cuts it out. Now Brianna Edwards heads it away. Trishan Grant jumps in the air. And again, Trishan not having a good day today with her control. She's
not at all
over the place. The Antiguans want another foul throw. Referee just turned her head slightly, so she probably didn't see that one. But here is Antigua Barbuda with a chance to go forward. Should be called offside, and is. Good call by the assistant referee on the far side. Assistant referee number 2, Kawitsa. No, that's Thelma Beltran. So free kick to St. Lucia. We're in the 2 minutes that are added on. We're actually in the second of the 2 minutes to be added on. Antigua Barbuda just wants to hold out these final 30 seconds and go into the halftime interval with the lead. They wouldn't want St. Lucia to score at this interval, because that would mean that they could come back with momentum, and especially going down the hill, as we would say in Antigua Barbuda. If you get early momentum, you could find yourself in some trouble. But it's a throw-in for Antigua Barbuda. We should have the halftime whistle anytime now. A half that started well for Antigua Barbuda, and then it just faded off in terms of the opportunity. But I would dare say that the better opportunities in this half came to the Antigua Barbuda team.
Yes, totally agree with you there. Antigua, they had the opportunity where they could have gotten one or two more goals and could be up at least 3-0, but I guess the coaching staff would be satisfied with the 1-0 lead, knowing that all they need is a draw to go through to the next round, and St. Lucia would have to come in the second half and try their best to get that 2-goal, which would take them through to the next round of competition.
Halftime here, Antigua Barbuda 1, St. Lucia 0. So we're ready for the second half of coverage of this Antigua Barbuda versus St. Lucia game. Group D, match number 32. At the half, Antigua Barbuda were leading St. Lucia by a goal to nil. The teams have switched around. So St. Lucia, they're going from right to left on the screen. And, of course, Antigua Barbuda going in the opposite direction. St. Lucia in blue, Antigua Barbuda in gold. At the halftime intervals, both coaches would have spoken to their players. St. Lucia would need to equalize early and then look to put pressure on the Antigua and Barbuda team if they're going to come out with victory. Antigua Barbuda need to either score another goal or to maintain the lead that they currently have. And if they do that and they don't concede, they would go through from this group. It's very simple as that. During the halftime interval, we saw the St. Lucia goalkeeper limping, but she looks to be okay. Joseph?
Yes,
they were helping her.
Yes, she's back in goal.
To the dressing room, but the magic, whatever magic they did in the dressing room during the 15-minute halftime period was enough for her to recover. So she's still in goal for St. Lucia, Miss Namali Flood.
Yes, here we see a free kick for Antigua and Barbuda just outside the penalty area.
Opportunity for Antigua and Barbuda to get the ball in the penalty area and maybe try and get another early goal, as they did. We are now in the 47th minute, which would be almost like the first half, the second minute of the half, as Hamilton just making sure that the wall is. Now she's speaking to a couple of players, probably about holding inside the penalty area. The ball is chipped up in the air, clears Brittany Edwards for Antigua and Barbuda, but she does well recovering and trying to use her size to get around the St. Lucia defense. But on the opposite end, Brittany Edwards is one that has a problem kicking the ball with her right foot. So there we saw the struggle, as we would say, people would say the struggle was real on that occasion, Brittany Edwards. But she seems motivated this evening to do well for Antigua and Barbuda.
Yes, of course, and I'm sure scoring that goal would have given her some extra impetus to do well for herself and her country.
St. Lucia goalkeeper has it. She's limping. Her kicks for this tournament have not been very good to Trishan Grant, and Grant just taking a while to get the ball down, trying to flick it up in the air and get going. Antigua and Barbuda support came across to help Grant, so they win a throw-in on the far side, just about midway up the St. Lucia half. Jahira James has the ball in her hand, would look to put it in play for Antigua and Barbuda. She takes a good throw forward looking for Grant, but again, Grant, who has not had the best of controls today, trying to use her muscle, there gives it ball back to Jahira James. James trying to come across the field, but is that's Jacobs?
That's Brianna Humphreys.
Yes,
that was
going
Humphreys.
back into almost back into danger, because she went back in the same direction where the pressure was coming from and giving the ball away. St. Lucia has it now in defense, as the Antigua and Barbuda player was just closing her down. That looks to be Trishan Grant, and Antigua and Barbuda gives the throw-in away.
Yes, then more. I think any minute now we'll see a substitution for Trishan Grant. She's not having a good game at all this afternoon, and as I looked out in front of us, I can see Konika Buckley. She's being put through the warm-up paces by the trainer, and
seems to be the super sub these days.
Yes, and I must say she has done well when she came on
the other day. She brought a little bit of energy to the Antigua and Barbuda, especially on the right side.
So I'm sure the coaching staff will be hoping for a similar performance from her this evening.
Certainly. But I think Trishan Grant is best when she's going down the middle of the park, when she's given the opportunity to run onto the end of through balls. On the wing, she's the one that is trying to create the play, and that is not her game. Her game is to use her speed to run onto the balls, get balls where she can really flat out sprint, and she's not really gotten any to do so today. Antigua Barbuda trying to go forward. St. Lucia scrambling in defense. But they do get it clear. But Antigua Barbuda can go again. This is what Grant looks for. To really look to motor past the player. You see how quickly she had closed down the St. Lucian defender. But the defender did well just to hold her ground in front of Grant and allowing the ball to go through to Flood in goal for St. Lucia. Again, Flood's kick is not good. It's not been good at all in this tournament. She just seemingly, when she tries to kick it, she splices the ball into touch. And so Antigua Barbuda will have a throw-in on the left-hand side. 1-0, Antigua Barbuda continues to lead. And the longer the game goes on, Antigua Barbuda being 1-0 up, the more we will see St. Lucia start to panic. So Antigua Barbuda will just want to hold on and not give away anything at this stage. Antigua Barbuda player coming back. And here is the player. This is Portia Davis trying to go forward, but she's obstructed by the St. Lucia defender who hits the ball off the body of an Antiguan player, wins a throw-in for Antigua for St. Lucia on the left. Referee Hamilton just asking the player to go back a few yards. She goes back and then runs back the same number of yards and probably more. The ball is bunted forward by St. Lucia. Antigua Barbuda, goalkeeper, was coming forward and then just backing up, making sure that she is comfortable. She has the ball in her hand. Let's see how she releases it into play. She has a good kick upfield down the middle. We haven't seen much of Kai Jacobs today as well in the game in terms of her dribbling ability and her ability to try and go past players. Antigua Barbuda is going to have a goal kick once more.
With her playing on the flanks, we're not going to see much dribbling from her. If she was in the center of the park where majority of the ball is being played, then we would have seen much more of Kai Jacobs. But with her on the flank, we're not going to see much dribbling because by the time she gets the ball, it's time to either cross it or to late in the park.
Good ball played forward, finds Grant. Grant touches it on the inside. Is this Simon Ponte? She's looking to get past the St. Lucian defender. Defender does well, gets a little flick pass from Kai Jacobs as she was just trying to play her in. St. Lucia has it, they can break. On the left-hand side, coming across is the enforcer, I call her, in Portia Davis for the Benner girls. This ball is played short to the Antigua Barbuda player. This is Grant, position, who was in an offside position, given offside by Tonya Dean, the Bajan assistant referee. Assistant referee 1 on this the near side. The assistant referee 2 is Thelma Beltran. She is of El Salvador. So we have Odette Hamilton, who is the Jamaican, Tonya Dean of Barbados, and an El Salvador assistant in Thelma Beltran. And the fourth official is from Honduras and Dominican Republic. The referee says a truly Caribbean, or we would say a truly Caribbean and Central American team working together, and that's what the one CONCACAF does, that it causes people who probably would not have normally worked together to be working in the same environment. So throwing for St. Lucia on the left hand side. They just try to pick away at the Antigua Barbuda defense. So 2 balls were on the field. So the St. Lucia player with the throwing down the line. Who's that? That looks to be
that's Kai.
Kai, who's in the way. So another throw-in for the St. Lucia team. Just having a problem now finding the ball. Where's the ball, girls?
They're there. I was just wondering where they were. There's one just in front of us here.
But there's one missing from the probably all-important position down where the 2 St. Lucian players are warming up. St. Lucia trying to go forward, plays it into touch. It's going to be an Antigua Barbuda throw-in on their right-hand side, deep inside their own half. So Antigua Barbuda would want to look to get it forward. Throws it down the line, looking for Kai Jacobs, and then the Antigua Barbuda number 10. That's Samuel.
That's Brown.
Gets it on the inside. St. Lucia looking for a shot. Shot taken by the St. Lucian, blocked by the Antiguan, double blocked by Antigua Barbuda, and Kai was looking to go around the ball.
I think she should have attacked that ball a bit quicker.
Try to bring it under control. It was always spinning, so it looks as if it was always going to spin away from her. St. Lucia having a little bit of pressure on the Antigua and Barbuda team at this time. Here is the Antiguans trying to clear the defense. They do so. Simon Ponte coming forward. It's with Antigua and Barbuda now, and Portia Davis gives it back to the Antigua and Barbuda playing Jahira James, who with a one-time left-footed effort gets it forward. This is James now on her trusted right foot, tries to switch the play, tries to go diagonal, but it's cut out by St. Lucia. They can now break as they look to go forward. The St. Lucian attacker gets past an Antiguan defender, but Brittany Edwards is there and puts the ball into touch.
And we're going to have a substitution for Antigua. Number 12, Konica Buckley. She's going to go on. And number 13. And so we are seeing the same substitution as of Friday, Denmo, where Konica went in for Kai.
So Kai is off,
yes,
and we haven't seen much of her. So probably it's a good. She's not been effective on that flank for the Antigua and Barbuda team. Kai Jacobs, she's really been taken out of her game when she's out on the flank, and so Konica Buckley has come in. Maybe she can give Antigua and Barbuda that little bit of energy they need down that right hand side. But for now, they're under pressure from St. Lucia, who's trying to get the ball into the Antigua and Barbuda penalty area. Antigua and Barbuda trying to get it forward. Here is the Antigua and Barbuda player trying to break for Antigua and Barbuda as they look to counter attack, but good defense this by the St. Lucian defender, just trying to outmuscle the Antigua and Barbuda player, and foul given against the Antigua and Barbuda attacking player.
Yes, again, Simon Ponte using her speed, trying to use her skill, but the defender, calm, cool, and collective, just stood her ground, took the ball away, and drew a foul. So here's Buckley with her first touch.
Sorry, Konica Buckley trying to go forward for Antigua and Barbuda. Here is the ball played out. Buckley gets her first opportunity to run, but she's going to be outpaced by the St. Lucian defender, who just allows the ball to run over the touchline. But it's going to be a corner kick for Antigua and Barbuda. Antigua Barbuda 1, St. Lucia 0, and we've gone into the 13th minute of the second half. So we're into the 58th minute of play. Substitution for St. Lucia, out the number 6 in the number 11. So going out is Ayana Vitalis, and coming in is Samara Edwards, and we see the number 10 going out, and the number 19, is it, or 18 coming in
on. That's
so Lila Lionel
Britannia
and Saint Pri. Yes, Saint Pri.
Rihanna Saint Pri, she's on.
So corner kick for Antigua Barbuda on their right hand side. An opportunity to swing the ball into the net. This is the number
Brown.
10, Brown gets it in. The heads go up for Antigua and Barbuda, but it's a weak effort this time, and it just lobs to goalkeeper Flood. She will run to the tip of her penalty area and hopefully gets a better kick this time. She's starting from central, so the opportunity to kick it into touch was slim, and she found it. She just put the ball into touch for an Antigua and Barbuda throw-in. So her bad kicking continues for the St. Lucia team.
Yes, it does. And that was
Antigua Barbuda trying to go down that left side with Grant, but Grant was just spinning, not necessarily knowing where she was, as Antigua and Barbuda again was just trying. The Antigua and Barbuda midfield players just trying to link with each other.
And we see Grant is down, holding her left leg, and the referee summons for the stretcher.
Not sure what happened with Grant there.
Just about a minute ago, when she was on the left trying to take on the defender, after the defender had won the ball, she pulled up and was holding the back of her hamstring. So I don't know, probably she has
picked up an injury.
Picked up an injury.
Ogaro getting ready for the Antigua and Barbuda team, as the head coach gets up and looks at her in a stern manner and gives her some instructions in that looks to be very aggressive. Looks as if they're gonna remove Grant and probably bring on Shakira Ogaro, as she's just waiting to get the substitution form from the manager. So she's now approaching the fourth official, so we expect to see the substitution. Trishan Grant is being carried on the stretcher away. So no doubt, maybe your hunch is right. She's pulled up, as this one is headed up into the air by the Antigua and Barbuda defender, and turning, and Portia Davis flattens another player,
number 8
on this right side. And if she can put down the number 8 for St. Lucia, who is a big, huge girl, you know that Portia Davis is in rich form in terms of the aggressive nature of her play. Ball is played forward, looking to go into the inside the Antigua and Barbuda penalty area, cleared away by the Antigua and Barbuda defense. St. Lucia has it. They're looking to turn, trying to start an attack. Good 1-2 link up, but won by Antigua and Barbuda. Now they have it down that left hand side. Is that Shakira?
No,
Ogaro?
that's
that
no,
looks to be Simon Ponte.
No, that's number 10 in brown. Yes, so Trishan has been substituted, and Shakira Ogaro is on.
She's now coming on.
Yes.
Thought that they'd made that substitution already.
No, they did not. And so Shakira runs to the left side of the field.
So
I think Antigua is going to miss the speed of Trishan. Although she's not having a good game, but whenever she challenges
she applies pressure,
and she caused them to turn the ball over. So let's see what happens
Ogaro
here.
can also be a busy little player if she gets the opportunity to run. So let's see what happens. This is Portia Davis just giving it to Tittle. Tittle should be okay. Tittle loves to tackle. She's one of those rugged type of defending players that loves the slide tackle, and on that occasion she was tackling. Here's a chance for Buckley to run for Antigua and Barbuda down that right side. She gets it on the controls, cuts on the inside, puts the ball into the path of the Antigua and Barbuda player, but good defending, good hold up play by the St. Lucia defender, just having the presence of mind to go with the Antigua and Barbuda forward player. And it looks to be, is it that the number 6 for St. Lucia? And Vitalis, who did some good defensive work there for her team on that occasion. Antigua Barbuda has a throw-in on their right. Antigua Barbuda 1, St. Lucia 0. We're in almost the 19th minute of the first half, so we're about in the 64th minute. In the second half, we're in about the 64th minute of play. Here is St. Lucia trying to go forward, headed away by Marley Jarvis, the Antigua and Barbuda defender. Here is Portia Davis trying to thread the needle, gets it back, slides it through. This is a good ball. Running forward is Simon Ponte, but she's muscled off the ball. The crowd would be screaming to her, telling her probably to fall with a little push. She's a strong girl, holds her position. St. Lucia trying to come forward, but they run into trouble. Antigua and Barbuda, this is Ogaro. Ogaro is being beaten down that right side, and then they hold up the St. Lucian attack, and it's going to be a free kick for St. Lucia. Antigua Barbuda 1, St. Lucia 0.
Yes, I think Simon Ponte, what she needs to do now is that if she realizes that every time she tries to take an extra push, the defender bodies off the ball, what she probably needs to do is to take her shots a bit earlier. So as soon as she gets it just on the penalty area line or just outside, probably she needs to take that shot, because when she tries to dribble, the St. Lucian's defenders comes across and just body her off the ball, because she's a slim young lady, and the St. Lucian defenders, they are robust.
So here we see the Antigua and Barbuda goalkeeper not handling the ball. She thought she had parried it, but with the changes in the law that comes into effect in the next few days, that is going to be considered as a legal play when the goalkeeper makes a any save that resembles parrying, they're able to pick the ball up. One of the small changes coming in the laws of the game. Antigua Barbuda with Brittany Edwards gets this one up in the air as St. Lucia backs up. The roar you heard on our microphones was the Antigua Barbuda crowd just wanting a better effort as Antigua Barbuda was on the attack. Just now, here is Antigua Barbuda again. St. Lucia gets it clear. The ball is in the air. It continues to be 1-0 to Antigua and Barbuda. But St. Lucia looking as if they might be able to unlock the Antigua and Barbuda defense sometime soon, because they are really trying. But Jahaira James gets it down that left-hand side. The Antigua and Barbuda player who is in an offside position needed to just get back there and give James probably opportunity to play the ball forward. We see the Antigua and Barbuda players now just remonstrating with each other, probably a little sign of frustration as the girls are just getting emotional as they get ever so closely to qualification. Antigua Barbuda continues to lead by a goal to nil. We're in the 67th minute of play.
Yes, then one here. Here's where I think that Kai Jacobs, if she was still on the field, would have been an exemplar to have up front to hold that ball up, because she has the size to hold the St. Lucian defenders off and play it in the path of the Russian players. And also we see lack of speed on the flanks, causing the St. Lucian defenders to get back on defense one or two times and able to take the ball away from the Antiguan attackers. So let's see if the coaching staff notice these things that I've said and make any adjustments.
Again, the Antigua and Barbuda forward player not taking full control of that one as the ball was played to her. And so it's with St. Lucian goalkeeper. Let's pray for a good kick. And she gets a good one, finally.
Yes.
Puts it into play. The heads are up. Ball is in the center circle. St. Lucia trying to go forward. But again, cut out by the Antigua and Barbuda player, who is working hard with that dreadlock player. Who's that, Humphreys?
Brianna Humphreys.
Yeah, she's really working her socks off, as we would say. She's working hard, trying to keep that lead that Antigua and Barbuda has. Here is the Antigua and Barbuda player winning that ball and then hitting it onto the body of a St. Lucian player. She's unable to react. I don't know why. She just seemingly didn't react.
Probably she thought it was going to go over the touchline, and instead of making sure by shielding it, she just stood up and the St. Lucian player ran around, got it. But luckily for her, the St. Lucian player played it over the touchline for a throw-in for Antigua and Barbuda. And here we see the number 8. This is number 8 for St. Lucia, but she was down and she's back up now, and so the game will continue.
Referee Hamilton just extending an arm, helping hand to the St. Lucian captain. She's back on her feet as it's the opportunity for Antigua and Barbuda to go forward with Buckley. The ball comes off of her body and goes into touch. St. Lucia has a throw-in as they get it downfield. Foul. So, free kick to St. Lucia. And on these occasions, when the ball is this close to the touchline and the player's back is towards goal, there's no need to foul them. Players do that all the time in both versions of the game, male and female, and I've often wondered why.
And they usually complain to the referees what they had done.
But you're barging into the back of a player who is not causing any threat to you in the immediate time. But Antigua gets it clear. An opportunity for the Antiguan player to run down that left-hand side. She was looking to just touch it around the St. Lucia player, but she's spent. She's probably lost all of her real pace. So there's no pace. So she just tried to hit it off the body of the St. Lucian defender and gets Antigua Barbuda a throw-in. Throw-in taken. It's on the Antigua and Barbuda left. This is James. Has it, gives it short. Finds Humphreys. Humphreys skips past one, but again, the lack of pace now from the Antigua and Barbuda players. Antigua and Barbuda gives it away to St. Lucia. Humphreys heads it forward for Antigua and Barbuda. This is an opportunity for Antigua and Barbuda. But the ball runs free. St. Lucia can break. Antigua and Barbuda in defense. Marley Jarvis using her strength there to win the ball for Antigua and Barbuda. Shakira Ogaro is beaten by the St. Lucian attacking player who's gives it away. Who's trying to go forward. This is a chance for St. Lucia trying to go forward, but again the Antigua and Barbuda defense is there. They try to clear their lines. It comes to the St. Lucian captain. She's hoping to get a shot off. The ball is through and it goes behind for a goal kick to Antigua and Barbuda.
Yes,
Antigua and Barbuda 1, St. Lucia 0.
Yes, and as she took that shot a while ago, number 8 for St. Lucia, the Antiguan defender was holding her shots. But luckily for the Antiguan defender, the referee nor the assistant saw it, and so it went over the goal line for a goal kick. The number 8, she was down, but she's back up, and we're going to continue. And again, then more like I said, this time Antigua probably need to rethink their strategy. They probably need someone on top who is going to hold the ball up and just knock it around.
But who do they have in their camp that could do that at this time?
They'll probably have to take one of their midfielders.
Maybe you could think about somebody like Proctor, maybe?
Yeah,
could come on.
Yes. And just remember, yes, we have Proctor who is on the bench. Yes, and she's that kind of player, holding player. She has the skill and the ability to hold it up just for a minute or two, because the long ball over the top is not working anymore, because like you said, number 9 Simon Ponte, she has been spent. Yeah,
she's tired.
Yes.
She's not moving as she was earlier, with not as much life as she had before. The St. Lucia players usually takes a couple of yards when she takes the throw in, and the St. Lucia captain still having all the energy. Here is she going forward, brought down by Tittle, and Tittle has to be careful, especially at this stage when she's tired, because her natural instinct is to tackle, and there again we see her bringing down the St. Lucian captain, giving St. Lucia a free kick in a dangerous position. It's at an angle outside the penalty area. You can say it's about 23-25 yards away from goal at an angle, but she could try to curl it into the far corner of the goal of the Antiguan custodian in Nikisha Samuel. Samuel setting a wall, and so we'll see how this one goes. The referee already put in the spray down, the vanishing spray they call it. Here is the free kick for St. Lucia from the captain. She puts it across and headed away by the Antigua and Barbuda defense. They should get it further clear. They do, but it's behind Simon Ponte. But St. Lucia, more and more, they're beginning to attack the Antigua and Barbuda defenders. This ball is played upfield again. Simon Ponte is the target. Shakira puts it out on the right, looking for Kanika Buckley. Buckley is just bearing down on the St. Lucia defender, and she had to kick for touch, as they would say in rugby. And she played the ball into touch for a throw-in for Antigua and Barbuda. Devita Tittle not in a hurry to take it. Referee Hamilton just indicating to her with the show of the clock that you need to get a move on. I'm going to add it on at the end. So with that little bit of urgency, so we might see 4 minutes from Hamilton at the end of this one. We'll watch and wait and see. Here is this ball thrown in by Antigua and Barbuda, and they continue to try and just knock it around, try and keep possession. St. Lucia, though, would want to counter-attack. Here is St. Lucia trying to go forward, but Humphreys again gets in the way. She has it, trying to play it forward, and it comes through. Luckily for Simon Ponte, she's hoping for a shot. Buckley has it. She almost steps on it. She's been forced backwards. Still, Antigua Barbuda trying to get it. This is Buckley playing it backwards. Tittle, 50-50 ball. She gets there first, puts it on the inside, doesn't find an Antiguan player. It's with St. Lucia. Brittany Edwards cuts it out. Antigua Barbuda will get it.
Yeah,
here is the
number 10.
Number 10. Shout to Antigua Barbuda wide of the right hand upright. She tried a one-time effort trying to beat the goalkeeper. She looked nervously at it, and she would tell you that she had it covered all the way, but that one just went wide of the right hand upright. And Antigua Barbuda 1, St. Lucia 0 remains the
It's a good a good opportunity there for Antigua and Barbuda. Just went wide of the upright from Jadine Brown. And here we see Proctor. Yes, Proctor. She's been sent to warm up.
Probably listening to the stream. They have somebody mic'd up somewhere that's sending the messages that what we say here. But we're not the coaches.
No,
we're just the folks bringing you the coverage. Denmore Roberts and Oliver Joseph. Here is Antigua and Barbuda with Shakira Ogaro on that left side. The ball is breaking free for Buckley. Buckley just not fast or strong enough on that occasion. But here is a 1-2. Good effort by the Antigua and Barbuda players, as this one is left for Jahira James on that left side. She gives it down that left side to Shakira Ogaro. Ogaro plays it on the inside, was looking to split the defense, and the St. Lucians having to clear their lines quickly. Antigua Barbuda 1, St. Lucia 0 continues to be the scoreline.
Yes, much better day from Antigua and Barbuda. 4 or 5 passes, and that's what they need to do. When they get it, just pass it around and let the St. Lucians come to them and then get it over the top or through ball to somebody running through.
13 minutes to go in the encounter.
And here comes the enforcer.
13 minutes for Antigua and Barbuda to hold on as Portia Davis puts that one into touch. The little St. Lucian player upsets her captain because the captain wanted the ball quickly and short, and she just delayed, and the captain said some words to her, probably in patois. It sounded like Creole from this distance. We'll never know what it was over the ear. It sounded a little bit not like if something that you would tell somebody when you love them very much. Here is this ball played forward. Antigua and Barbuda player putting the St. Lucia defender under pressure, and then that little jab of the shoulder causes referee Odette Hamilton to blow her whistle, so St. Lucia will get a free kick on their left hand side. St. Lucia 0, Antigua Barbuda 1.
Proctor just got her final words from the final instructions from the coach, and she goes over to the fourth official to hand in the substitution form. And so any minute now, Antigua will make.
What would they be bringing her on to do?
We'll watch and see.
What do you think is
that they'll put her on the forward line and ask her to just get the ball and hold it up, knock it around, and get.
So just help them to buy some time.
Yes, that's basically it.
The Antigua and Barbuda defender in James, is that James?
Yes, it is James.
Putting a sliding effort in, causing the ball to be in the touch. So let's see the substitution. Number 10.
Brown. That's surprising to me.
You're going to take Brown out.
Yes.
And Brown, knowing how the thing works, she's walking slowly.
She's started a slow jog now. Well, since they substituted Browns, I guess Proctor is going into the middle of the field, because it's like for like.
Yep, so we expect that Proctor is going to shore up the midfield now. She's with her on that occasion. Buckley not controlling there, the ball running through her legs, so it's going to be a throw-in for St. Lucia. And that little player who steals the yards, I can bet you she's going to end up very close to where she started from, as she runs back down and takes the throw-in.
Just as you said then.
Yes, gets it down. St. Lucia has it on that left-hand side. The number 19 looking to take on the Antigua and Barbuda defenders. Edwards comes across and takes her out. Should go into the book of the referee. So Brittany Edwards receives a yellow card in the 90th minute. So
this is a goal scorer.
Brittany Edwards thought that that was not necessary at that stage, because the St. Lucian player, even though she was making that run,
and then more we see that it's 3 minutes 3 minutes of extra time.
I will not say anything because we're being carried live, but 3 minutes of added time. So Antigua Barbuda has 3 minutes to survive, to stop the St. Lucians from getting 2 goals. So they would just want to make sure Coach Warner,
Yes,
goalkeeper coach,
the
is
goalkeeper
very animated at
yes,
this time. He's
the one
walking back and forth. I'm not sure what is his stress about. He was forward, then back, forward. Now we see
the head coach is out. He's now up.
The Antigua Barbuda players have been moved back to 9.15 meters. So
the vanishing spray has been sprayed by Hamilton, and so we're going to have the free kick for St. Lucia. Hamilton blows a whistle.
We watch.
That's the captain who's going to take the free kick.
Yes.
She's ordering someone out the way. A good kick.
Good punch this by the Antiguan Barbuda goalkeeper, and the ball is then hit off the body of an Antiguan defender and goes behind for a St. Lucia corner kick. It was a good free kick taken by the captain. You could see what she was trying to do, curl it into the far corner of Samuel's goal, and the Antigua and Barbuda defense survives. Corner kick to St. Lucia. The captain has made the run from one side to the next, from the free kick all the way across to now take the corner kick.
She's not giving up until the last whistle.
She's really trying for Antigua and Barbuda. They want this ball to be outside. Here is the ball coming across. Antigua and Barbuda gets in the way, and the crowd is willing her to kick it forward, and she gets it out on that left hand side. The ball is still in play, but St. Lucia will get a throw in as the ball finally goes over the touch line. Throw in for St. Lucia. They're running out of time.
Into the final minute.
Under the final minute. Here is the Antigua and Barbuda player trying to go forward. Is that Humphreys?
No, that looks like
in the red. No, that's Ogaro. Shakir Ogaro in the red boots. Antigua Barbuda with Portia Davis gets it forward, finds Simon Ponte. She looks up, surveys her options. Buckley would want to come wide at this stage. Simon Ponte rolls it to the Antigua and Barbuda player, Tittle. Tittle slams it on the body of the St. Lucian player, and then having to retreat and puts the ball into touch. Buckley, I thought, was the guilty one on that occasion. She needed to give Simon Ponte an option. She needed to come wide so that she could either play it square to her or play it forward into the space for her to run.
But instead she ran forward.
Yes,
and
just caused the space to become tight. And Antigua Barbuda heads it away as the throw-in was taken by St. Lucia. Referee has a look at her watch.
3 minutes of extra time, so any second now we have that final.
Would it be safe to say that Antigua, based on the timing, would be qualified? No, final whistle goes. Antigua Barbuda qualifies from this group, Group D, winning over St. Lucia 1-0. Goal coming in the 5th minute by Brittany, the 2nd minute by Brittany Edwards. That has proven to be the winning goal for Antigua and Barbuda. Antigua Barbuda 1, St. Lucia 0. Antigua Barbuda qualifying from Group D of the CONCACAF Caribbean Women's Qualifier.
Yes, let me say congratulations to the Antigua and Barbuda team, both coaching staff and players. Well-deserved qualification. They were the better team over the past few days here, and just 1 or 2 things I think they need to work on for the next round. I don't know where that round would be and who the teams would also be. But then again, let me just say then more thanks again for having me here with you.
You're welcome, and we hope that the coverage of this qualifier between Antigua Barbuda and St. Lucia today was to the satisfaction of all those who were listening. So from the Antigua Recreation Grounds, we leave it in news. Antigua Barbuda winning by a 2nd minute goal from defender Brittany Edwards with a header. They defeat St. Lucia 1-0 and qualify from Group D of the CONCACAF Caribbean Women's Qualifier. On behalf of Oliver Joseph, my co-commentator, and of course our producer Paget Jarvis, and all the other folks who worked with us here on this live stream from Antigua, we say good night.